going to attempt to walk you through what it might look like on SOL day and the kind of things that you would want to focus on. So I just did a quick Google search of like some common argument topics because I didn't want to accidentally basically write somebody's essay for them. So the one that I saw that I thought, okay, I can work with that is should schools have physical education classes? And because I'm doing this in real time, you're going to have to bear with me typing as I go. I type fairly fast, so I'm going to try. Okay, so I sit down. It's going to have some big fancy intro before this. Many Americans believe that children should be getting outside more and playing in the yard like they used to. And then there'll be some like fancy quote. In fact, George Washington said, whatever. Point being, should they have physical education classes, and then choose a side, choose a position, and support it, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So the first thing I have to do, the first part of the writing process is a pre-writing. This is to come up with as many ideas as possible. The point here is to take off some of the stress and to make sure that when you go to write the actual essay, you don't come across that blank space of crap, I don't know what else to say, or crap, this doesn't work, I can't fully develop it. Just come up with the ideas. I don't know why people seem so opposed to this and they want to just jump right in and write the essay. But then it never fails that they come to me and say, I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. That's why you do the pre-writing. If you say, I don't know what else I'm supposed to say, I'm not going to be there to help you figure that out on test day. Your pre-write figures that out. So again, I'm just doing this off the top of my head, so you are getting it as if it's real life, it's real time. So what comes to my head when I talk about, or when I think about PE classes? They were fun in elementary school. They sucked and were stupid in high school. We didn't really do anything, just sat on the side. There was like the awkward dressing, or what do they call it? Dressing out. Wow, I pulled that one out of my memory. In the locker room, and only the jocks enjoyed it. And I always felt bad because I have health issues, so I can't run. That make it so I can't run. Let's see. They stopped it when I was in school. It stopped in 11th grade and switched to driver's ed, I think. I can't really remember, but we'll see. Stopped in 11th grade, switched to driver's ed. It was always just taught by some coach who didn't really know anything about like how to actually teach. He just knew how to be a coach. It was often skipped. People didn't really go. And let's see, like they would occasionally play sports. In elementary school and middle school, it was fun because they would play games. I remember playing Foursquare. Don't remember how to play, but I know we did it. And jump rope, and you would play sports like basketball or whatever. But everybody sucked then, so it wasn't. You didn't feel bad about it like in high school when they'd play basketball, and I can't play basketball. Everybody's favorite dodgeball, where you get to hit people in the face. Kickball, I used to like that one. But then you'd have the president's fitness test or whatever, president's fitness, and you had to run the mile. And that was like the devil for me. That was traumatizing. And we had to the girls had to hang for, God, I don't know, like 30 seconds. And the boys did pull-ups. And you had to do push-ups and sit-ups and the V-stretch. I was always great at that one because I'm hypermobile. And then I know now they have that oh crap, what's the meme? The something fitness test, the pacer test. The pacer test is basically the same thing that they still do now. And let's see, kickball, dodgeball. Um, was we used to like it was exciting and you did hard exercise when it was in elementary school. I'm just going to put in younger grades. And it was something that we looked forward to. It was always fun. The teacher was always like happy and excited. I used to just go outside and smoke cigarettes with my PE teacher. Those were the days. Teacher was always happy and excited. Um, think like it wasn't every day. I don't think we only went some days, and now I think it's still like that. Still like that question mark. I know for my kids at least, it's still like that. Okay, so now let me think of some other aspects of it. So you have like overweight, pandemic, no, epidemic, there you go. Epidemic of people being so out of shape. Epidemic, there we go. So then you have heart issues, you have kids on screens all the time, you have them getting no exercise, you have just junk food all the time, you have just people can't sleep, and it's typically because they haven't used any energy for the day. Can't sleep, not using energy. We have habits that last for life. We have lifelong health issues. We have like diet and exercise are often tied together. Kind of narrow on that one. Okay, so we'll pretend that I spent more time on that, but I only have a few more minutes left of planning time and I want to get this done. So if I had done this, it would have been 32 ideas I came up with. And it took me, what am I at, 7 minutes of this video? Guys, you can afford to spend 7 minutes coming up with ideas on SOL day if it means that you get to not run out of ideas later. So now that's step one. Step one, pre-writing. Step two is trying to figure out where you're going to go from here, how this is going to turn into an essay. So I want to look for the things that are really overlapping. If I had done this in the mind mapping in the bubble form, which I couldn't do on the video because it would be really take forever to like draw circles. But it would be the ones that had a whole bunch of little bubbles that came off of them. So I know that I said a whole lot about how it used to be fun. So I'm going to do like elementary school stuff. And this was elementary school. Where's my highlighter? There we go. And these were all elementary school. Let's see. Sound table. This is all elementary school. As far as health issues go, tends to really be an issue starting in like just kindergarten, that kids are on screens, eating junk food, no exercise. The can't sleep tends to be later because most kids can just sleep no matter what. Okay, then I talk about other stuff for older kids. So older kids, let's see, I think most of this was older kids stuff. Pacer test. This tends to be an older kid issue. The others kind of could go either way, younger or older. So I definitely want to make age some part of it. So I know that much at least. I'll come down here and I'll write that. Don't want highlighter anymore. So I'll definitely have paragraph about age somehow. Age or maybe grade. And I'm putting question marks here because I'm not sure. I'm not going to immediately go start writing that paragraph now. Like maybe I'm just seeing what kind of matches up. Uh, Fun versus not fun. And I have stuff on like health aspects and feel like that's probably the ones that I have the most of. I have to have the other side at some point. Somewhere, at least one sentence in my essay has to address the other side. Ideally, I'd be able to get a whole paragraph out of it, but bare minimum, I need to have at least one about the other side. So I'm feeling like, okay, well, the fun versus not fun, that can definitely have both sides on it. So, do I want to say that they should be required to have PE all throughout school or not be required to have PE all throughout school? Um, just based on what I have here, I mean, I feel like these health issues are really important and it really is a problem that we have nowadays, especially the more that kids are getting screens as they get younger. So I think I'm going to go on the side of yes, they should have PE every year. Just go all the way up through senior year. And so now looking at it through that lens, through knowing that I want to do, yes, all the reasons that they should have PE. So I know that I can include how it was fun in elementary school, and I can talk about how it's good for health stuff. I can talk about how you play games. So that's going to help with teamwork. It's going to help with social skills. So, what you see I'm doing here is making another pre write. Now that I have figured out where I'm going after this, now I'm making another pre write to come up with the ideas that would go under this category. So, all the reasons that, yes, yeah. So, you have teamwork, you played social skills, you learned sports. That's where I learned how to play volleyball. Wasn't good at it, but I learned how. I learned the rules. Um, you have to, do things you don't like. It's important to teach kids young that sometimes you're gonna have to do things you don't like. And if you don't like to exercise, oh well, it's good for you. Good for you to go out of your. And then, okay, well, what would the no people say? They would say that it's boring. They would say that it's pointless because there's no participation. I mean, really, that's all I got. Is like some people can't. Talked about health reasons. Maybe a bad teacher. Okay, so now I know these are the things that I want to focus on. So I feel like if I do one that's on like teamwork, social skills, sports, games, I feel like because all of those have to do with playing games, playing sports, and like why that's a good thing, I feel like I can probably get a whole paragraph out of that. The point here being, if I can't, if when I go to write it, I can't get a whole paragraph out of that, then that's fine. I have all of these other ideas over here to choose from. So I'm feeling like that is something that I could work with. Um, Age stuff and it being fun versus not fun, feel like that works. Fun in elementary school. You don't like it when you get older, boring, pointless, no participation. That all feels like age stuff. Fun versus not fun stuff. And then health issues, well, that I can break down into a whole bunch of other things. So let's see. Highlight this one. What color have I not used? Gray. Okay, so health things I can add here that we're talk about junk food, we can talk about heart disease, we can talk about diabetes, arthritis issues. There's some brain issues that are emotional regulation that's tied to exercise and diet. So, looking here, I've got 3 different paragraphs I can probably get. And especially this green paragraph, I've got both sides. So that's looking promising. That's something that I can really work with because I'm gonna have that the what am I trying to call it? Opposition, that counterclaim. Okay, so now with this, I want to try writing an essay. Again, what I told you guys and what I'm going to do here for you to see is I don't write the introduction first. I don't know what I'm going to say yet, so I'll worry about the introduction later. I'm jumping straight into the body paragraphs because that's what I just spent all this time doing for the pre-writing. So, going straight into the body paragraphs, what order do I want to put them in? I feel like health, probably the most important. That's the one that's going to be most convincing to people. We don't want kids to get sick. We don't want kids having these lifelong health issues. So I'm going to save that for paragraph 3 because I want that to be the most important. As far as it just being fun or not, I feel like that's probably the least important. So I'm going to make that paragraph 1 as least important. Which then puts the purple stuff. I feel like learning social skills and learning how to play games, that's more important than whether or not it's fun. So I'm going to make this my body paragraph 2. Because it's like middle important. I need to clarify here that I mean body paragraph on all the other ones too. I'm running out of time, so I hope that I get through some of this at least. This is body paragraph, and now I lost it. Where'd the other one go? But oh, here. So I have my order laid out. I'm going to talk about fun versus not fun. Then I'm going to talk about playing games and teamwork and social skills. Then I'm going to talk about health stuff. So I've made it that far. I'm going to, let me get that kind of concise here, and then I got to stop the video for the afternoon because I have to go help my kid get to the play. Okay, so if I'm going to have, first paragraph was fun versus not fun. I am then going to have 3 major details, which means I got to break that down into 3 little subtopics of fun versus not fun. Well, I know I talked about elementary school and how it was fun, and then I talked about high school and how it wasn't fun. I'm still missing one here. I would say probably, since I'm going to be saying they should have to take it anyway, that fun isn't really that important. And then I'm going to have to get to my minor details, and that's where I'm going to give specific examples. So I know that I can talk here about how we played dodgeball and kickball, and then here it's going to be about like the jocks only liking it and everybody just kind of sitting on the side. And then for fun not being that important, I could actually move here the, like, oh well, life isn't about having fun kind of thing. So that's going to be 1 paragraph. I'll come back to this tomorrow to finish. And then, what did I say this one was? Oh, the teamwork. So I'll call it teamwork for now, teamwork / sports. And then I'm going to have a 1, 2, 3 for this too. 1, 2, 3 with your majors and minors. And then my third one was health issues. And I'd have to have a 1, 2, 3 for those. It's going to be a major with minor. And then I'm going to do that for all of them. So this is the meat of my essay. These are going to be, once I go and write them with some sentence variety, this is going to be like 5 or 6 sentences, then 5 or 6 more sentences, then 5 or 6 more sentences. And I'll talk about that when I get to the revision process on this video, but that's probably going to be a separate video. So hopefully this helps, and let me know if you have questions.